ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सवधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण. So we'll continue our discussion on chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So in the first 6 chapters we have seen Krishna is explaining different yogic paths to Arjuna and at the same time answering different doubts which Arjuna like Arjuna posed some arguments for not fighting. So Lord Krishna refutes their arguments and along with that introducing different yogas like Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. But the prominent theme of the first 6 chapters is Karma Yoga and the main focus is on karma. Krishna again and again in the 3rd chapter and the 5th chapter, Arjuna, these 2 chapters starts with the same question of Arjuna. Arjuna is asking this question again and again that whether I should fight or I should retire from the war. So the Jnana Yoga means I can reject my duties. I'm established in the self. I have realized the soul, and therefore I will not do any material duty. That is Jnana Yoga. But Krishna told that even if you are qualified for Jnana Yoga, you should do Karma Yoga just to educate people in general. And Krishna gave the example that I also do work for this purpose. And different great personalities like Janak Maharaj, they also do work for this purpose of educating people in general. Although we do not have to work, but still we work. Still we accomplish our prescribed duties. So therefore, as a Kshatriya, it is your prescribed duty to annihilate those who have taken the sides of irreligion. And Krishna is coming into this planet for 3 purposes. Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha duskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya. So one of the purposes is vinasaya cha duskritam. So to annihilate the irreligious persons. And Krishna has chosen Arjuna to be an instrument in that mission. So Arjuna should fight in all conditions. So Krishna has described about different yogic methods: Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, Sakam Karma Yoga, Niskam Karma Yoga, and everything. So there is a like list of Krishna enumerates all the different yogic methods available. And finally, and when Krishna was discussing chapter 6 is about Dhyana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. The last sloka of Dhyana Yoga is, so basically what happens after hearing the description of Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga is for highly elevated persons who have very high abilities. Kali Yuga persons cannot do Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. Although Arjuna is a highly capable person, Arjuna once defeated Lord Shiva also and got the Pashupata Astra. So such a personality, Arjuna can also control the wind. So Arjuna had so many divine powers and qualities. So with all those strength and qualities, Arjuna is telling, this method of Ashtanga Yoga is very difficult for me, O Krishna, and I cannot do it. Chanchalam himana Krishna pramathi balabhadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayureva shuduskaram. So here we can see, so Arjuna is telling Krishna, Chanchalam himana Krishna pramathi balabhadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayureva shuduskaram. So it is, I can control the wind, but controlling the mind is very difficult. And the characteristics of Ashtanga Yoga is the Supreme Lord will not help you. Supreme Lord will give homeworks. This is your homework. Go and come with your controlled mind. Come with your controlled senses. And I will check your homework. If you do everything correctly, I will provide you liberation. You will be able to see the Paramatma. So in Ashtanga Yoga, you have to do the hard work. Means with your hard work, you have to fight with the mind and you have to conquer the mind. And you have to fight with the senses. You have to conquer the senses. You have to fight with all allurements. So immense amount of like self-control is needed to practice this Ashtanga Yoga, which is impossible for people in Kali Yuga. So therefore, Arjuna, although highly qualified than the Kali Yuga souls, Arjuna is also telling that I cannot do it. So we have no question of doing it. We will not be able to do. If Arjuna is able to do 60%, will not be able to do even 0.6%. So this is the condition. Therefore, the Supreme Lord assures at the end of chapter 6 that, okay, no worries. If you cannot do Ashtanga Yoga, I have a better proposal for you. What is that? Yoginam api sarvesham madgatenantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mata. There is another yogic path which is called Bhakti Yoga. And this Bhakti Yoga is much easier than Ashtanga Yoga. Why? In Bhakti Yoga, Krishna will help you. You surrender unto Krishna and Krishna will fight with you. Krishna will fight with the mind. Krishna will fight with the senses. And Krishna can defeat the mind and senses in a moment, which is insurmountable task for us. It is very easy for Krishna. So therefore, in this path of Bhakti Yoga, Krishna will help you. So it is super easy. And interestingly, it will give you better destination than Ashtanga Yoga. By performing Ashtanga Yoga, and if you do Siddhi Labh, means if you perfect in Ashtanga Yoga, you will see Paramatma. But if you perfect in Bhakti Yoga, you will be able to see the Sakshat Darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is a little difference between Paramatma and Sakshat Bhagavan. Paramatma is an expansion of Krishna. If you want to know the technical details of what is the expansion, so basically Krishna in original form in Golok Vrindavan is known as Swayam Rupa. And then from Krishna comes Balaram. Balaram is the first expansion. From Balaram comes Adi Chaturvyuha in Mathura, Vasudeva Sankarshan Pradyumna Aniruddha. And this Sankarshan is known as Mula Sankarshan. From this Mula Sankarshan expands Narayan. And Narayan is the presiding deity in Vaikuntha. So from this Narayan comes the second Chaturvyuha or second quadruple expansion, Ditya Chaturvyuha. And here also we have Vasudeva Sankarshan Pradyumna Aniruddha. But these four Chaturvyuha deities are in Vaikuntha. And from this Sankarshan of Vaikuntha, who is known as Mahasankarshan, comes Karanodakoshayi Vishnu or Mahavishnu and Sadashiv. Okay. So this Karanodakoshayi Vishnu further expands into Garbhodakoshayi Vishnu. Garbhodakoshayi Vishnu further expands as Kshirodakoshayi Vishnu. And this Kshirodakoshayi Vishnu is known as Paramatma. So this Kshirodakoshayi Vishnu or Paramatma, which is the ultimate destination for Ashtanga Yogi, is only a expansion of the expansion of the expansion of the expansion of Krishna. And by Bhakti Yoga, you can realize Krishna as it is. Srimad Bhagavatam says there are three aspects of Bhagavan realization. Vadanti tat tatta vidas tattam yajnanam avjayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. So there are three aspects of God realization: Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. So if you see God from a very high distance, like from a large distance, you are seeing the Supreme Lord. And the Supreme Lord is self-effulgent. Here also in this picture of Paramatma, you can see the Brahma Jyoti is emanating from the body of Krishna. So if you see the Supreme Lord from a very large distance, you will only see light. For an example, if you are standing on a railway platform waiting for the train, if the train is too far, you will only see the headlight of the train. If you wait a little bit, gradually you will see the body of the train. Oh, so if you just see the light and you say, okay, I have seen what is train, and you go back, then you go back with the understanding that train is equal to light. If you wait a little bit, then you will see the body of the train, you will see the engine and the different bogies. So you will come to the conclusion that train is a vehicle which have an engine and which runs. And if you go with that understanding, you will know train as a vehicle. And then if you wait more, then you will be able to see the driver and the passengers, which is realizing the personal aspects of that object. A similar analogy can be given, just as the sun rays is one understanding of sun, the sun globe is another understanding of the sun. And if you actually get a body suitable to reside in the Surya Loka, you will see the sun god Vivaswan, who is the personification of this planet. So it may seem that all these things are working automatically, but there is a person behind everything. There is a controlling deity. If we become qualified enough to see them, we will see. Okay. Just like a ECG report is nothing but some scratches for a ignorant person. But for a doctor, the heart is manifested in the ECG report. So if you have the knowledge and qualification, many things will be manifested which are not manifested to ignorant people. So same goes for the spiritual subject matters. So this is the three aspects of God realization explained in Srimad Bhagavatam: Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. So Bhagavan realization is the topmost and which can be attained only by Bhakti Yoga. Bhaktya mam abhijanati javan jaschasmi tatvata tato mam tatvato gatva vishate tadanantaram. Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita 18.55. Okay, so this is a nice deal. Ashtanga Yoga is difficult and you are getting a low destination if you perfect in that. Bhakti Yoga is easier. Krishna will help you and you get a better destination. So in all ways, we should choose Bhakti Yoga. Okay. So in Kali Yuga, Ashtanga Yoga is not only possible. So you have no other options except Bhakti Yoga. But just for your kind information, there are some personalities in the past. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you will know there is one Shaktya-based incarnation of the Supreme Lord called Prithu Maharaj. So Prithu Maharaj came in a situation when there was an emergency. Like there was no king to rule the earth planet because one king died. The king was very atrocious, and therefore the Brahmanas cursed and killed the king. The king is called Vena. And this king is coming in the lineage of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj is a great devotee of Lord. So after the departure of Vena, there was an emergency situation, no one to rule. So then Prithu Maharaj came, the Supreme Lord incarnated. So if you see, the Supreme Lord is only maintaining everything. Therefore, he is called Vishnu. Vishnu maintains everything. Sometimes whenever there are some post empty and no one is qualified to take up that post, like in the universal management, there are so many different posts: Brahma, Indra, Chandra, Varuna. And these posts have different qualifications. Just like we take the IAS examination, UPSC, to select our government officials, right? Similarly, the Supreme Lord also has some criteria for selecting these government officials, all the demigods, Brahma, Indra, and all. So Brahma's qualification is like you have to execute Varnashram Dharma perfectly for 100 lifetimes. Even if you do one mistake in this 100 lifetimes, you are not qualified to become Brahma. So similarly for Indra, you have to do 100 Ashwamedha sacrifice. Therefore, Indra is called Satakratu. So Brahma's qualification is very, very high. So sometimes what happens that in a universe, some living entities came from Mahavishnu's body, all this universe is manifested, and Mahavishnu also sends souls to different universes. So suppose in one of the universes, no one is qualified to become Brahma. Then the Supreme Lord expands and takes up the position of Brahma. If no one is qualified to become Indra, Supreme Lord expands and takes up the position. So similarly, here the Supreme Lord can maintain everything. So Prithu Maharaj, there was scarcity of king in the earthly planet. No one was there to rule. So the Supreme Lord came as Prithu Maharaj and he ruled excellently, set so many nice like technologies like agriculture and all was set by Prithu Maharaj, and made the earth fertile enough for agriculture. Therefore, the earth Prithvi came from the name of Prithu Maharaj. So in that way, so why I'm speaking about Prithu Maharaj? So when Prithu Maharaj completed the royal duties, so it was a custom for our ancient Rajarsis that after you complete your royal duties, you go to forest and you completely meditate on Krishna and you get liberated. So they used to do Bhakti Yoga. So here, Prithu Maharaj is an incarnation of Lord. So obviously he will do Bhakti Yoga. He will demonstrate the topmost behavior like a king. So he was doing Bhakti Yoga and he was also engaging all the citizens into Bhakti Yoga. But Prithu Maharaj also was practicing Ashtanga Yoga when Prithu Maharaj went to forest. So first of all, because Prithu Maharaj is a highly qualified person, incarnation of the Supreme Lord, he can perform Ashtanga Yoga. So Prithu Maharaj was doing Bhakti and Ashtanga Yoga together. Okay. So Bhakti Yoga is sufficient to take us to back to Godhead and liberate us and to give us the supreme destination. We can realize Bhagavan feature by Bhakti Yoga. But it depends on your sincerity, how much you are sincere in Bhakti Yoga. And depending on your sincerity, like many people take different amount of time. Some people may perfect in one lifetime. Some people may take 10,000 like that. So Ashtanga Yoga adds another layer of sincerity to Bhakti Yoga. If somebody does Ashtanga Yoga without Bhakti, then it is very inferior. Like you will only realize Paramatma. That is too very difficult. But if you are doing Bhakti plus Ashtanga Yoga, and if you are qualified to do Ashtanga Yoga in the first place, then you can do Bhakti plus Ashtanga Yoga to make your progress rapid. Okay. So in our ISKCON, we have this system of first initiation and second initiation. When you take first initiation, you get the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Before taking first initiation also, you have to practice chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And once you are able to chant 16 rounds daily, follow 4 regulatory principles, you will be given initiation. And then this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is enough to liberate you and to take you back to Golok Vrindavan. But it will depend on your sincerity, how much you are sincere. Depending on that, the time will be decided. In one lifetime will go, or you will take 10 lifetimes, something like that. So there is another layer of sincerity called second initiation, where you get the Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri Mantra, like one Gayatri we know, Om Bhurbhuvaswar, that is Brahma Gayatri. You have 7 Gayatri Mantras that are given to a person during the second initiation. So second initiation is not required, but it adds another layer of sincerity, and it makes the process more rapid. Okay. So the point is, if we are qualified, we should take more and more austerities, and we should be more and more sincere to make our progress more rapid. Okay. So it depends on our ability. The more we do, Krishna will give us more ability. If Krishna will say, okay, I have given you many opportunities and you are not utilizing all those opportunities and you are claiming, God help me, then Krishna will not help. First, you have to complete your plate, whatever is given. Sometimes people say that I am not able to manage time. Are you really trying to manage time to chant? First of all, we have to evaluate how much effort we are putting. So if it is the case that we have to work like 16 hours daily, concentrated work, then if we give that excuse that, okay, I'm not able to manage time, still there are some devotees who work for 16 hours and still they are completing 16 rounds. So first of all, we have to understand how much effort we are putting. And if I'm putting my best effort and still I'm able to chant only 8 rounds, then certainly Krishna will help and Krishna will make your time and Krishna will make sure you'll be able to chant 16 rounds. But first of all, we have to manage. Somehow we have to manage. We have to plan, think deep that how can I manage time for my Bhagavad Gita reading, for my chanting of the holy names, for hearing lectures. So we have to put much effort and we have to exhaust our 100%. Then Krishna will help. Okay. So now Krishna, in the end of chapter 6, had told that Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. Now in chapter 7, he is elaborating on that fact. So first, 1 to 3 slokas, Krishna is giving an introduction to that Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is telling, Maya Shakta Mana Partha Yogam Junjan Madashraya Asamsayam Samagram Mam Yata Gashrashi Tachrino. So, if you want to know me as it is, hear what I say now. This is the most confidential knowledge. Okay. And then in the second sloka, Krishna says, Jnanam teham sa vijnanam idam vaksham yasheshataha yajgatva neha bhuyanad gyatvavyam avashishyate. By knowing this knowledge, this confidential knowledge of Bhakti Yoga, you will know everything. And there will be, there will not be any knowledge remaining for you to know. You will know everything. This is the complete knowledge. Whatever Krishna will give in Bhagavad Gita about Bhakti Yoga. So then Krishna is also telling that although I try to educate everyone and therefore I am telling this Gita through you, O Arjuna, but people are very less interested in spirituality. Okay, they are happy with small remunerations. There's a famous story that in Independence Day, the president came to a jail and the president told that to all the criminals who were there in the jail, the president told, you can ask for anything. I will grant you anything on this day because this is Independence Day. So people are demanding small things, that I have only one soap for bathing. Please make it 2. Okay. Please give me a blanket. It is too cold here. But there was one intelligent person. That person asked that you will give me whatever I will want. The president told, yes, whatever you want, I will give today. So he wanted liberate me from this jail. So that is the most intellectual response, right? So similarly, people are interested in small material enjoyments, but they do not know the sole cause of suffering is this material bondage. If you get liberated from this material bondage, you will be automatically happy because the nature of soul is Sat Chit Ananda. Ananda is already there in the soul. You do not have to find Ananda in this world. In this world, there is no Ananda, but there is Abhas or emblem of pleasure. Just like there is a pond and there is a mango tree beside the pond. The mango is in the tree, but the reflection you can see in the pond water. If you jump into the pond, that okay, I have seen a mango in the pond, I'm jumping to hold over that mango, you will not get any mango because that was only emblem or reflection of mango. That is not the real mango. Similarly, in material world, we have the emblem of happiness. We think if I get into this relationship, I will become happy. If I achieve this, I will become happy. If I accumulate this much money, I will become happy. So our happiness is always in the future. Like from childhood, we have known that if we complete the board exam, class 10th, then our life is set. Then we set our target, the higher secondary or the +2 exams, then our life settled. Then people say, no, the +2 is nothing. You have to aspire for JEE, NEET, AIMS, all these things. So then your life will be set. Then you come to IITs and you see that life is not set. The hard work begins from here and you have to do hard work for getting a job. After getting job, you think my life is settled. But after getting job, you try for the promotion and all. So our happiness is always in the future. We are never happy. You have to understand this. This is called Maya or the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. Ananda is not there in all these material things. Ananda is one of the inherent components of the soul. If you are free from the material bondage, automatically you will experience Ananda. And Krishna is telling you that secret, how to become free from the modes of material nature. Okay, so Krishna started explaining the technical knowledge about Bhakti Yoga. First, Krishna starts with the different energies. Bhumi rapo nalo vayu khammano buddhi revacha ahankara iti yamme vinna prakriti rastadha. So Krishna says, I have two prakritis, external energy and internal energy. The non-living things in this material world are external energy. The living entities are coming from the internal energy. Okay. So the external energy or the non-living entities are made up of 8 objects. Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Bayu, Kham. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. These are called Pancha Mahabhutas. And then there is elements of the subtle body, Man, Buddhi, Ahankar. If we analyze our own body, we are living entities. The soul is coming from the internal potency of Krishna. But the body is dead. Body is coming from the external potency. Body is always dead. We think, okay, so first of all, people who do not have any conception about soul, they think the body is living. But people who have the conception about soul, they think the body is living only when the soul is present. If the soul is not present, the body will become dead. But the actual understanding is the body is always dead. Even when you are alive, the body is dead. How can we understand this? Suppose you wear a gloves and you are moving your fingers and nobody is able to see your hand. Everybody is seeing the fingers of the glove are moving. So people might think, oh, the glove is a living thing, therefore it is moving. But it is always dead. Whether you wear it or not, it is always dead. So similarly, the body is always dead. It is the soul which is moving the body, which is moving the dead body. Isn't it fascinating? The body is always dead. So therefore, this body is gross, and the gross body which we can see is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. And beyond this gross body, there is another subtle body which we cannot see, but that is also part of the material body, that is not spiritual or conscious. That subtle body is made up of man, buddhi, hankar, mind, intelligence, and false ego. And beyond that is the soul. And soul is the conscious living thing which is coming from the internal potency of the Supreme Lord. So Krishna says in the verse 5th that apariyamitastvannam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho jedam dharyate jagat. Beyond this external energy, there is another internal potency of mind, and all the jivas, all the living entities come from that potency, internal potency. So Krishna says, whatever you see is either internal energy or external energy of mind. Everything is coming from me. Whatever you see. Non-living thing, living things, everyone is coming from Krishna. Therefore, matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mahi sarvamidam protam sutre maniganaiva. Nobody is superior to me, and I am like that thread which is keeping all the pearls together. In a pearl necklace, we can only see the pearls, but we cannot see the thread. But it is the thread only which holds all the pearls together. If the thread was not there, the pearls will be scattered and the next necklace will not be formed. So we see law and order in the universe. The planets are working wonderfully. Everything is working wonderfully. So everything is organized, but we cannot see the organizer, the organizing force, Krishna. Just like the string is invisible, Krishna is saying, I am also invisible to general population. But to see me, it requires some qualification. And that qualification is also given in Bhagavad Gita. The procedure is also given in Bhagavad Gita. Following the procedure, many people have seen also Krishna. So there is no doubt about this science. This is very, very practical science. Okay, so from verse number 8, we can continue. So Krishna is telling, I am everywhere, right? Till now, Krishna has told, whatever you see, that is either my internal potency or external potency. So I am everywhere. But we need eyes to see Krishna everywhere. Generally, it does not happen that whatever we see, we remember God or Krishna. We remember something else. We remember about sense gratification. We think about our own happiness. How can I enjoy this? But the consciousness of a pure devotee is to remember the Supreme Lord in all conditions. So how can we remember Krishna in everything? That portion is given in this series of verses from text number 8. Rasoham apsukon teya prabhasmi shashishuryo pranava sarva vedeshu shabdakhe paurusham nrishu. O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water. the light of the sun and moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and ability in man. So Krishna is telling, I am the taste of water, I am the light of sun and moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. Om is very prominent in all the Vedic mantras. Om is required, otherwise the Vedic mantra cannot be formed. Sun and moon are nothing without the light. And taste of water means that particular taste which quenches our thirst. So when you are thirsty, nothing but water can satisfy you. So that satisfaction, that taste is Krishna. So I am the sound in ether and ability in man. So Krishna is telling, in everything, the essence is coming due to me. Okay, in everything, man is getting ability from Krishna. Sun and moon getting light from Krishna. The Vedic mantras get the syllable Om from Krishna. So in everything, Krishna is the essence. That is the main theme of this section of Bhagavad Gita. Punyagandha prithivyanscha tejaschasmi vibhavasho jivanam sarvabhuteshu tapaschasmi tapasvishu. Punyagandha prithivyanscha. There is the original fragrance of earth. Okay, and Krishna is that fragrance. I am the heat in fire. Again, the essence. I am the life of all that lives. The prana of the living entities coming from Krishna. I am the penances of all ascetics. Their tapoval, by the force by which they are doing their austerities is coming from Krishna. So we desire and Krishna gives the necessary things. Suppose a yogi wants to do tapasya, Krishna gives the ability to do tapasya. So everything is coming from Krishna. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam viddhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhi matamasmi teja tejasmi namaham. O son of Pritha, means Arjuna, know that I am the original seed of all existences. Without Krishna, nobody would exist. So initially, there was no one in this universe. And from Krishna or Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, Brahmaji came. And from Brahmaji, everyone came. So Krishna is the seed of all existences. The intelligence of the intelligent. The prowess of the powerful man. Okay. So Prabhupada says that, therefore, originally, Krishna is the source of everything. He is the root. As the root of a tree maintains the whole tree, Krishna, being the original root of all things, maintains everything in this material manifestation. That is also confirmed in the Vedic literature. So not only in Bhagavad Gita, the same thing is there in all the Vedic literatures. Like Katha Upanishad says, Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman. He means the Krishna is the prime eternal among all eternals. So all eternal means what? We are also eternal. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also has said this in second chapter. Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadhipa nachaivana bhavishyama sarve vayamata param. So Krishna says, you are eternal, I am also eternal. Living entity is also eternal and Krishna is also eternal. Okay, so here is an interesting concept. Like, it is not that there was a time when we did not exist and then Krishna created us at t is equal to something, t is equal to t1, and then we are existing after that. No. So it is not the fact that from t is equal to minus infinity to t is equal to t1, we did not exist. It is not the fact. We are existing from t is equal to minus infinity. Krishna is also existing from t is equal to minus infinity. How is that possible? Then how Krishna is the source of all living entities? Okay. So first of all, you have to understand there are many things about Krishna which are inconceivable. If we can understand everything about Krishna, then why Krishna is the Supreme Lord? Why Krishna is infinite? If we can understand the infinite Krishna with our finite brain, that means Krishna is not infinite. That will violate the definition of God. So by definition, there will be something which will be inconceivable for us. But then comes our acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, who tries to explain as much as possible, as much as our brain can conceive. And a mind-blowing analogy given to understand this inconceivable concept that we are existing eternally, then how is it possible that Krishna created us? Srila Prabhupada gives a beautiful analogy to understand, just like the sun and the sun rays. So the sun and the sun rays, similarly, Krishna and the living entities. So whenever there is sun rays are immediately there. So along with Krishna, all the living entities are already there. Krishna does not have to create the living entities. But at the same time, you can also say that the origin of the sun rays is the sun. So see, with this analogy, both are satisfied. So with Krishna, we came just like the sun ray comes. Therefore, we are also eternal. We also came in t is equal to minus infinity. And we can also say Krishna is our source, just like the source of the sun rays is sun. So this is analogy by which we can understand what is the relationship between the living entities and Krishna. But in essence, this is inconceivable. With our material brain, we cannot understand. After liberation, all these things will be clear. Because in this material world, we are bound by the concept of time. And all these things are beyond the limitations of space-time. So therefore, we have to get out of this material body, which is bound by space-time. Then we'll be able to understand that this inconceivable concept related to eternity and all those things. Okay. So one cannot do anything without intelligence. And Krishna also says he is the root of all intelligence. Unless a person is intelligent, he cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Valam balavatam chaham kamaraga vivarjitam dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamushmi bharatarshava. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. So Krishna is the sattvic strength, not the mode of passion or ignorance. And this is a very important statement. Krishna says, this is also controversial. People do not understand this very much. I am sex life, which is not contrary to religious principles, O Lord of the Bharatas, Arjuna. So what is this? Krishna is telling, I am sex life. So generally we say that the spiritualists, they are after brahmacharya. Okay. They do not use the sex life for recreation. They only do it for procreation. And here Krishna is telling, I am sex life. But the important part is which is not contrary to religious principles. So there is sex life which can be regulated by religious principles. Just like the grihasthas are allowed the sex life, but if the grihasthas are producing Krishna conscious children by their sex life, then it is not contrary to religious principles. And it is called sattvic or pure sex life. And Krishna is that. If someone is using sex life in an unregulated way just for the sense gratification, then that is demoniac. But sex life has also its utility. Everything has utility. Kama, krodha, love, all these things. Kama, krodha, love, these are the anarthas. But this has good utilities as well. You can utilize your kama or the sex desire to produce Krishna conscious children. You can use your anger or krodh to speak boldly against the atheistic people who blaspheme the God and the devotees. You use your anger against them to subdue them. Love or greed is a bad thing. But if you use that greed and with that greed you want Krishna Prem, if you have greed of Krishna Prem, then that is a proper utility of greed. So all these are anarthas, but we can use the anarthas also in Krishna's service. Then the anarthas will be purified. So that is our technique. That is called Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga says you don't have to leave everything, but use everything in Krishna's service and Krishna will take care. Ye chaiva sattvika bhava rajasastamasa ye matta eveti tan vidhi natvaham teshu te mayi. Know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, ignorance, are manifested by my energy. So everything is coming from Krishna's energy. This goodness, passion, ignorance are the three modes of material nature. And later on, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will discuss heavily about these three modes of material nature, especially in chapter 13, 14, 17, and 18. Okay. So everything is coming from Krishna's energy. That is Krishna's material energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature. So also the three modes of material nature is coming from Krishna. It is Krishna's energy. Krishna is not bound by the three modes of material nature. Okay. So the three modes are called guna. Guna is like the ropes. Okay. There is a very wonderful picture. Three modes of material nature is this picture where there are three deities you can see here. These three deities represent Sattvagun, Rajogun, and Tamagun. Okay. And Krishna is their master. Krishna's illusory potency or Maya Shakti has three gunas, three gunatmika Maya. And with these three gunas, they are affecting us just like the puppets are moved according to the movements of the strings. So similarly, the three gunas control our movements. So whenever we do some action, it triggers some of the modes, and then we come under that modes and we act according to that mode. So our actions have to be very purified. Whatever we eat, whatever we hear, whatever we read, all the inputs to different senses should be purified. Otherwise, they trigger the lower modes of passion and ignorance. And once they are triggered, we will be controlled. We will not have any, like, even if we know that this is bad, but being controlled by the modes will do the bad thing. So this will happen. So Krishna is above the modes and the living entities are controlled by the modes. So therefore, the living entities are called Gunadhin, Guna Adhin. They are under, they are subordinate to the three modes of material nature. And Krishna is called Gunadhish, Guna Adhish. Adhish means Adhishwar, Ishwar. So Krishna is the controller of the three modes. Okay. So all the sinful activities are being done by these Rajogun and Tamogun. And we have created such karma that now we are helplessly controlled by the modes. Then what we have to do? If we contact the master Krishna, that, oh Krishna, please save me. Your modes are making me to do sinful activities. Although I know this is good, this is bad, I am helplessly driven towards the bad. Oh Krishna, please help me. Now Krishna can subdue the modes. A beautiful analogy is a friend goes to the home of another friend, and that friend has a dog. So whenever the friend enters the gate, the dog starts barking. The dog feels that this is a like trespasser, and the dog started chasing. So now this person is being chased by the dog, and suddenly this person calls the friend, oh my friend, your dog is chasing me, please help. Then that friend does some gestures to the dog, and with that gesture the dog it immediately calmed, and the dog is not chasing the person anymore. So if we take shelter of Krishna, then Krishna can control these modes very easily, and that Krishna will say now. This is 12. In 14 sloka, Krishna will exactly say that. Now Krishna tells something more about the three modes, and then Krishna will give the solution how to control the three modes. And we will read up to the verse 14 today. Trivirgunamayirbhave evi sarvamidam jagat mohitam na vijanati mamevya paramavyayam. So what happens to normal people? Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, ignorance. The whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. So people are helplessly controlled by the modes and they do not know about Krishna. So then how to get out of the modes? Daivihi yesha gunamayi mama maya durattaya mame vaye prapadyante. Very important. Mame vaye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. This divine energy of mine, just like the dog was owned by Krishna, the dog was owned by the friend. Similarly, Maya is owned by Krishna. This is Krishna's energy. So Krishna, this will hear the instructions of Krishna. And this consists of the three modes of material nature, Sattva, Rajatama. Is difficult to overcome. It is very difficult. The living entities cannot go beyond the Maya of the three modes. with his own energy or potential. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So that is the secret. So therefore, this is the essence of Gita. When the Bhagavad Gita ends, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 18.66, very last verses of Krishna has come to end of Bhagavad Gita, and this is the essence. Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam saranam braja. Just surrender unto me. Now, when I came to Krishna consciousness initially, I also heard this verse many times. Mam eka saranam braja, mam eka saranam braja. But it took a long time to understand what is the meaning of this surrender. Surrender to Krishna means what? What is the meaning of surrender? Many people have different conceptions about surrender. Some people think, okay, whatever I do, I will do, and then I will offer one obeisances to Krishna. That means surrender. No. Surrender means you will act according to the instructions of Krishna. You will act according to the instructions of the representatives of Krishna. Whatever you will do, you will consult Krishna. Krishna, whether I should do it or not. That is the meaning of surrender. How can we consult Krishna? In two ways. Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Just try to find your situation in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, some sloka. And whatever Krishna will say there, you execute. If you are not able to find in scriptures, then find if you are not able to find that answer in book Bhagavat because you do not have scriptural knowledge, then you should contact the Vyakti Bhagavat or person Bhagavat, means the devotees. So whatever we are doing in our life, we should consult a devotee. And therefore in ISKCON, we have a system of counselor. Some senior devotee takes care of the newcomers because the newcomers are not properly trained in scriptures. So generally what should happen, the ideal condition in all the confusions in your life, one verse should be coming from Gita or Bhagavatam, which will show you light. But you may not have that much scriptural knowledge. So therefore, you should be taking guidance from a senior devotee who is expert in the scriptures and who has devotion towards the Supreme Lord. If you're leading our life in that way, that is the meaning of surrender. And that is the key to success in or happiness in this material world. That is the essence of Gita. Therefore, Krishna says, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So tattvadarshi purushas, go to them, surrender unto them, ask them questions and serve them. That is the perfection of your life. Okay, so that is the meaning of surrender. So in today's section, we saw that how we can see Krishna everywhere. In everything, Krishna is the essence. But why we cannot see? Krishna is everywhere. We say, no, right? Like, where is God? I cannot see. You can see God everywhere, but there is a curtain. Maya javanika channa magya dhoksha jamabhyam nalakshashe mudadisha nato natya dharojasha. There is a curtain before your eyes. Therefore, you are not able to see Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj was able to see Krishna everywhere. Even in the pillar, Prahlad Maharaj saw Krishna. So to remove the curtain, you have to surrender unto Krishna. And surrendering unto Krishna means work your life according to the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the devotees. Then everything will be clear. You will have no confusion at all if you lead your life in that way. And obviously, it will depend on your sincerity, how much you are eager to realize Krishna. Okay. Sometimes it also happens that if you are not sufficiently beaten by Maya, you still have some desire. Some people are absolutely disgusted with this material world. They are absolutely disgusted. They do not have any hope from this material world. They have properly understood that this will not give me happiness. So they will take to spirituality very seriously. And we see many examples, like all the great personalities like Radheshyam Prabhu, Amoglila Prabhu, Amarendra Prabhu, the great devotees in our ISKCON. So there are two possibilities. Either they are directly sent by Lord, they're directly coming from Golok Vrindavan, or they are completely disgusted with this material world for millions of lifetimes, and therefore they are only subscribing to this Krishna consciousness. They do not have any interest in this material world. But for normal living entities, they may have some hopes still in the heart. And that will be shattered. After a few lifetimes, that will be shattered. So ultimately, the reality is the material world cannot give you happiness. No material thing, no material object or material person can give you happiness. If you become attached to anything material, object or person, suffering is destined. Nobody can save you from suffering. The only object or person to which you can cultivate attachment, that is Krishna. Except Krishna, if you have developed attachment towards something or someone, then you are destined to suffer. So whoever has understood this secret and your like how much you are convinced about this will determine how mature you are. Some people may take several lifetimes to understand this, but this is the ultimate reality. Ultimately, you have to come to this stage. One day you will understand the material world will only give you sufferings. It will show you some emblem of happiness, but it will never give you happiness. It will give you, it will give you real suffering, but virtual happiness. Suffering is real, but the happiness which it promises is virtual. So the earlier we come to this understanding, the better. We will reduce our sufferings. Okay. Otherwise, one day you will understand anyway by being beaten by Maya. But if you understand by hearing from the devotees and Lord, that is an intellectual move. Okay. So we'll continue further secrets revealed by Krishna in this science of Bhakti Yoga. This will be very, very interesting. Okay, any questions? Yes.
Prabhuji, I had a question that what is the purpose of Lord Jagannath coming to this material world?
So what happens, see, in this material world, mostly people are here to enjoy. But there are some people who has understood the fact that material world will not give me happiness. They have understood that only Krishna Bhakti can give me happiness. So they should also have some ways to worship the Supreme Lord. Just like Krishna came in Dwapar Yuga and then Krishna went back. Krishna visits every universe for some time, 125 years. For 125 years, Krishna visits every universe in one day of Brahma. Krishna. But to show mercy on the people of Kali Yuga, Lord Jagannath came. Krishna came in Kali Yuga in different forms, not only in Lord Jagannath, but Jagannath is one of them. There are three prominent forms of Krishna still present in this Kali Yuga. One is Nam Brahma, second is Akshar Brahma, and third is Daru Brahma. The Nam Brahma is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra is non-different from Jagannath and non-different from Krishna. Second is Akshar Brahma or Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. These are non-different from Krishna. And then Daru Brahma is Jagannath. Jagannath is Swayam Krishna present in Kali Yuga, and he is present in the Nilachal Dham for those who want to worship Krishna and wants to advance in spiritual life. So Jagannath is there to bless. And even for those who are not interested in spiritual life, Jagannath is trying to uplift them by feeding prasadam, so that their intelligence is purified and they can understand that the material nature is cheating them life after life. So to give them this intelligence, Jagannath comes and distributes his mercy as prasadam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So there is another question that how do you find the verses which address our sufferings? So basically Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam is written in such a way that in all possible, you can apply all the permutation combinations of situations in life. There will be at least one verse which will be applicable for your scenario. And yes, you can like if you read the verses very carefully and you start memorizing a few verses, automatically it will come. The more you will love scriptures, the scriptures will love you. If you show your affection towards the scriptures, whenever you have got some time, if you give that time to scriptures, the scriptures will also help you when you are in need. So there is a reciprocation. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 4.11, Je jathamam prapadyante tam tataiva bhajamyaham. If you are giving your all the free time to Krishna, Krishna will be always there with you. But if we are neglecting Krishna, then we cannot expect such reciprocation from Krishna. So to the degree we want Krishna, to that degree Krishna will come or interfere into our life. Arjuna surrendered completely, therefore Krishna guided completely. If we think that we are intelligent enough and we do not need Krishna. Krishna will never come. So that is the thing. So by reading the scriptures, understanding them, memorizing a few verses, gradually it will happen that whenever you are in difficulty, one verse will come. And always there are devotees. If you are not able to find, ask the devotees, they will find the verse for you. And in that way, you can lead your life according to the instructions of Krishna. You cannot complain that Arjuna had Krishna in front of him, but I do not have Krishna. Yes, Krishna is present in many forms, but you have to utilize those forms like Nam Brahma, Akshar Brahma, Daru Brahma, and obviously the devotees. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is told, Shiksha Guru Keto Jani Krishnera Swarup, Antarjami Bhakta Shrestha Eiduirup. So the Shiksha Guru who is giving you teaching about the Krishna Bhakti is Krishnera Swarup, is none but Krishna in disguise. Antaryami Bhakta Shrestha. Krishna takes two forms. One form as Paramatma inside the heart. From heart, Krishna will give you some inspiration. And if you are not able to catch that inspiration, Krishna will come in disguise as a Shiksha Guru and speak you upfront. When you are very pure, you can hear Krishna's instruction in the heart as Paramatma. When that will happen? Bhagavad Gita 6.7 Jitatmana prashantasya paramatma samahita shitoshna sukha dukkheshu tatha manapamanaya. You will be able to hear the voice of Paramatma when your mind is completely controlled. And how can you control your mind? Again, the Bhagavatam verse comes. Savai manak Krishna padara vindayar vacham si vaikuntha gunanu varnane karav harir mandira marjanadisho shrutim chakara chuta satkathodai. Like that, engage your mind in service of Krishna. And the best engagement for the mind is chanting the holy names. The more you will chant with quality and prayers. In every chanting means sammodhan. If you understand Sanskrit, the name Krishna is with visarga, Krishna. That is Krishna. But when Krishna is there without visarga, it means Hey Krishna. In Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all the terms Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, they are without visarga. That means the mantra should be, so mantra is Hare Krishna, but actually you should say, O Hare, O Krishna, O Hare, O Krishna. So at least with that mood we should chant. Chanting is like a small baby who is not able to satisfy his own hunger and calling out to the mother, Mother, I'm hungry, I'm in trouble, please help me. So just like that, we should call out to Krishna that Krishna, I'm in trouble, please help me. We should completely surrender to Krishna. While approaching Krishna, we should be devoid of all false pride. We should think we are like donkey, we cannot do anything without Krishna. Without your mercy, I am useless, O Lord. So therefore, you will find in all the interesting prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam, all the great devotees, they are telling, I am useless, O Lord. Still, I am trying to offer you some prayers. Please bless me. So with that humility and with that bhav, if we approach Krishna, Krishna will certainly reciprocate. And Krishna has reciprocated. There is no doubt. Krishna has reciprocated for lakhs and millions. Why Krishna will not reciprocate to you? And once you will get Krishna in your life, you will need no one. We complain, I'm lonely, nobody is listening to me. When I need them, they are not there for me. Arey Baba, Krishna is your best friend. Develop your relationship with Krishna. Krishna will hear all day with attention all your problems and give you solution. But you have to adapt the process of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam to befriend Krishna. So then everything will be solved. And you will feel fulfilled. I do not need anyone because I have Krishna. You will have this feeling one day. Yeah. Okay, we are already over time. So yeah, we'll continue the 7th chapter in the next week. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.